car if I kill any pain. Look what you done. I'm a motherfucking star boy. Look what you done. I'm a motherfucking star boy. Every day a nigga try to test me, yeah. Every day a nigga try to end me, yeah. Pull off in the roadster SV, yeah. Pockets overweight getting hefty, yeah. Coming for the king, that's a far cry. I come alive in the fall time, man. The competition, I don't really listen. I'm in the blue mood, song, bumping new edition. House so empty, need a centerpiece. 20 racks a table come from ebony. Cut that ever into skinny pieces. Then she clean up with her face, man, I love my baby. You talking money, need a hearing aid. You talking about me, I don't see the shade. Switch on my side, I take any lane. I switch on my car if I kill any pain. Look what you done. I'm a motherfucking star boy. Look what you done. I'm a motherfucking star boy. Let a nigga Brad Pitt, legend of the fall, took the year like a bandit. Bought mama a crib and a brand new wagon. Now she hit the grocery shop looking lavish. Star Trek roof in the Wraith the Con. Girls get loose when they hear the song. 100 on the dash, get me close to God. We don't pray for love, we just pray for cause. House so empty, need a centerpiece. 20 racks a table come from ebony. Cut that ever into skinny pieces. Then she clean up with her face, man, I love my baby. You talking money, need a hearing aid. You talking about me, I don't see the shade. Switch on my side, I take any lane. I switch on my car if I kill any pain. Look what you done. I'm a motherfucking star boy. Look what you done. I'm a motherfucking star boy. Look what you done. I'm a motherfucking star boy. Look what you done. I'm a motherfucking star boy.
Come with me into the trees. We lay on the grass and let hours pass. Take my hand, come back to the land. Let's get away just for one day. Let me see you stripped. Let me see you stripped. Metropolis has nothing on this. You breathing in fumes, I taste when we kiss. Take my hand, come back to the land where everything's ours for a few hours. Let me see you stripped. Let me see you stripped. Let me hear you make decisions without your Let me hear you make decisions without your television. Let me hear you speaking just for me. Let me see you strip. Let me see you strip. Let me see you strip. Let me see you strip.
Okay, what the fuck is this low energy chat? Everybody like the stream right now. The fuck is everybody doing? Thank you for the raid, Jackson. Appreciate you, man, for the raid. Appreciate you for the raid. As you can see, we're going on a conquest today. We're gonna be conquering a part of the internet. We're gonna be fucking conquering these Reddit pieces of shit, talking shit, all this fucking bullshit. We're gonna be conquering Reddit today. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a fun stream today because we are also going back to the Tales of Saloth Sar. We're going to resume where we picked off at the end of it, okay? So that's what we're doing today, and we can look forward to it, and it's going to be a really fun, great time. Everybody fucking give me Sun Gorillas in the goddamn chat. This fucking low energy chat. What is this, huh? What is this? What is this low energy chat? What is this low energy chat? Sun Gorillas in the goddamn chat. What is this, huh? You think we're playing around and playing games here? Think it's a joke? You guys are gonna think, oh, this is not a good idea. It's a good idea, trust me. And as you can see, I got a haircut, I got my beard cut and everything. Unfortunately, I shaved my head, so now I have to wear a hat all the time because I shaved my head. Just kidding. I'm not here to be sarcastic or tell jokes, play games. This is serious business. This is serious business! What is this slow chat, huh? Still too slow. Still far too slow. Still far too slow in any case. Fuck Zelensky! Jackson's people are here. Fuck Zelensky! Ukraine's gonna lose. Fuck Zelensky, Ukraine's gonna lose. That much is very clear. We all are aware of it. It's redundant. See, here at Infrared, we are in the year 2036. We are already in the year in which Ukraine lost. We're already there. Ukraine already lost, as far as we're concerned. We're here in the future where Ukraine lost in that timeline. That's where we're dwelling. That's where we are. That's where we exist. That's where our soul resides and dwells and is. So, I want you guys to do something. First of all, I have a few threads in mind that I'm going to be reacting to. But I want you to go in the Discord and go in the show requests and show me the threads that you find to be the most outrageously stupid threads about Infrared and Haas that you would like me to go through and start responding to. Because we are going to go on Reddit. We're going to be addressing these Reddit commenters and the things that they're saying on Reddit together. And that's what we're going to be doing. And we're going to be starting this off with something that's on Tankiejerk. It's what it's called. It's called Tankiejerk. And it was a tweet of mine, okay? And let's go ahead and get this going, right? This is going to be a battle of the ages. Trust me. It's going to be... I'm going to be teaching you guys how to react and respond to these people who talk shit about infrared on the internet. I'm going to be giving you the talking points. So let's go. Most sane Haas moment. Nazbol gang. So what is the crime? The crime is that I said Donald Trump is more left-wing than Bernie Sanders. Far more left-wing than Bernie Sanders. And the reason for that, if you don't know, the main reason, is that Donald Trump is more vehemently posed against the military-industrial complex war machine than Bernie is. Bernie signs off on all this bullshit pro-human rights fake nonsense, promoting color revolutions and democracy movements across the fucking world and condemning authoritarian regimes, and Trump does not. That automatically and objectively makes Trump far more left-wing than Bernie Sanders when it comes to foreign policy. I don't see how anyone could refute this. I don't see how anyone could refute it. Holy fuck, Dark. Thank you so much, brother, for the 25. Appreciate you. I don't see how anyone could refute this. Of course, Donald Trump is far more left-wing than Bernie Sanders. The left, since the age of the French Revolution, is defined as the party of movement, the force that's actually bringing change and challenging the establishment. Trump is doing that in a far more effective and substantive way than Bernie Sanders is. I'd like anyone to try and refute that. But why? Because Trump is more socially not on board with the Rockefeller progressive agenda. That makes this invalid somehow. Get the fuck out of here and shut the fuck up. This is self-evidently true, if you're honest, right? Bernie's a warmonger. Donald Trump is not. It's that simple. These people would have supported Mussolini. Isn't this an anarchist subreddit? Mussolini held anarchists in very high regard, and he was an anarchist himself. That's his background. Fascism is a form of anarchism. I've already given a lecture on that, by the way. We would have supported Mussolini. I mean, at first, he just saw himself as a patriotic socialist. Fact-checking. Wrong. The term patriotic socialist does not originate with us. We've never adopted that label. It originated with you. It's something you made up in your own head and accused us of being. Socialist patriotism is just part of Marxist-Leninist orthodoxy and always has been. Next. MAGA communism isn't fascism, nationalistic socialism. How? I don't know. Maybe if you read the Substack, you'd understand. MAGA communism is not nationalist. MAGA does not mean nationalism. MAGA just means American partisan patriotism. That's all it means. MAGA just means an alternative America to the official and established one. It's that simple. MAGA is saying that America is not properly succeeded by the deep state, the CIA, the FBI, and the military-industrial complex. So it's actually quite simple. MAGA communism is just communism or Marxism-Leninism as applied to the American context. And I would like to know what that has to do with National Socialism, according to the Germans. By the way, there's so many reasons why this is wrong. First of all, National Socialism was called national because it inherited the institutions of the imperialist, social imperialist in many ways, actually, because of the legacy of the Social Democratic Party, German state. It was called national because it implied a loyalty, not to the country as in the sense of the people, but to the institutions of the German state and the military-industrial complex. MAGA in no way implies that. MAGA is precisely poised against the actual official American state more than any other political movement in this country. MAGA people are the ones who are calling for defunding the FBI. MAGA people are the ones who are against the CIA. MAGA people are the most vehement anti-war voices in Congress and the Senate right now. So no, you're wrong. The key thing when it comes to National Socialism is war, ramping up the military-industrial complex to prepare for a war of aggression. I don't see where that's coming from with MAGA. There's a lot of rhetoric that comes from Trump that appears to be hostile to other countries, but in actual practice, he doesn't want war, he doesn't pursue war, and he doesn't try to justify a policy of aggressive war against other countries. That's in contrast to the Democrats, Biden, and the so-called anarchists of this subreddit who implicitly, more or less, abide by the Bush doctrine view that authoritarian countries are fascist and we need to go conquer them to liberate them and give them democracy. That's much more akin to a kind of Hitlerite Lebensraum, however you pronounce that, than anything we're talking about. So no, MAGA communism has nothing to do with National Socialism. This one's probably going to be great. If a butterfly had flapped its wings differently in 1918, patriotic socialism would have turned out to be a name for fascism. It's too bad that this is the name you invented, not us. Again, where is the patriotic socialism label coming from? It comes from you. We've just espoused socialist patriotism. Socialist patriotism is orthodox Marxism-Leninism. In orthodox Marxist-Leninist textbooks, you will find socialist patriotism. That's literally what it's officially referred to as. And since these people are Wikipedia-brained, there's even a fucking Wikipedia for it. Oh, wow, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Socialist patriotism has its own Wikipedia page. A form of patriotism promoted by Marxist-Leninist movements. It's not connected with nationalism. Okay, I mean, it's in the CPUSA. If you ask the old heads of the CPUSA, are we patriotic? They're going to say yes. It's not a new thing. Get this fucking idea out of your head that the patriotism stuff is new. It's not new. It's never been new. It's standard Marxist-Leninist orthodoxy, period. People like Haas are entirely aware of this. They're just fucking Nazis. The whole point of their shtick is to be Nazis and to consciously make Nazis out of the absolute most gullible teenagers who consider themselves leftists.
Base.
Thank you so much, Noscast.
Unlike the so-called progressive squad of the Democratic Party, Maga has a real political presence within the Republican Party.
Exactly. They actually have balls. But I love this claim that I'm actually consciously a Nazi. And the whole point of my shtick is to consciously make more Nazis out of the absolute most gullible teenagers who consider leftists. But Nazis say that infrared is a brown movement. If you actually look at their soy jack of infrared, it's always a black or brown guy because we are not predominantly a white movement. So it's kind of weird. What's the master race then? Where's that coming from? You could try to say that we're Mussolini fascists. We're not the racialist kind or the Aryan supremacist kind. But again, how do you then explain the fact that we're constantly getting into theoretical squabbles with people who actually do espouse those views? Dude, third positionists are not some rare... Oh my god, it's not a rare thing. It's not a particularly, rare thing. It's very common on the internet. We debate with them in our Telegram all the fucking time. They're actually there, out there. Why would we be debating with them if we're just secretly trying to funnel people into third positionist fascism or whatever? Why are we debating them all the time? Why is the community always debating them? Why do we sharply distinguish ourselves from them directly all the time? It's not like it's some secret esoteric thing. It's not. They're out there, right? Not hard to find. You see, anyone who isn't Russian has a Russian flag in their bio, there's a good chance they're trying to recruit gullible people into fascism, or they are a gullible person being recruited into fascism. Based on what? Based on what? Patriotic socialism would have been turned out for a name for fascism. No one needs to call themselves a patriotic socialism in 1918 because the kind of patriotism that we're talking about was a given for every communist in the world, including the most vehemently internationalistic ones. Even Trotsky would probably admit to some kind of patriotism. It was not particularly controversial, period, right? It's only become controversial now because of the decolonial land-back Jay Sakai stuff. That's the only fucking reason. You know, he's lost it when his fan base is calling him out. Yeah, this is not my fan base, you dumb fuck. These are people who are just in my replies. It's so easy. I'm just destroying these people one by one. This take isn't even right wing. It's just wrong wing. Well, you're going to make an argument, dumb fuck? I don't get how these people are so well known. Well, maybe it's the same fucking reason you wear a fucking fedora. Because you're sitting with your fucking fedora, unable to actually investigate for yourself. You just look at me on face value and go, oh, well, you don't, there's clearly something behind the surface, right? And you don't investigate it for yourself. What a big fucking surprise, right? They're ruining communism, but giving a bad name to leftists. Fuck leftists. We don't care about leftists, by the way. And a bad name in the eyes of who, by the way? In your echo chamber? Well, fuck you. These tankies need to be sent to the far right where they rightfully belong. I like this idea of the political spectrum as a kind of geography. You're going to be sent to the shadow realm of the far right on the political spectrum, which is totally not a made-up thing I pulled out of my fucking ass and actually reflects an objective science of the world. With much imagination, anything is possible. Trump, the guy who gave tax cuts to the rich, is left-wing. Unironically, tax cuts are left-wing because they gut the imperialist state machine. You ever thought of that, you dumb fuck? The imperialist state machine, which Marx and Lenin talked about wanting to smash, derives its revenues from taxes. The more money you take out of the fucking state machine, the less money they can fucking use to support the dying system of imperialism, whose conclusion is fascism, actually. The same guy who says the left is responsible for transgenderism and LGBT hangs out, okay, the left as in the current left and leftism as in the ideology of the modern left. But that doesn't mean the objective left-wing position is reducible to the people who currently make up the left or the self-proclaimed left in America. Who hangs out with Nick Fuentes? Why? Because I talked to him once? Literally one time, by the way, and I was invited. When have I ever refused an offer to talk to anyone? I talked to him once, literally once, okay? It was one time, and yeah, when I talked to him, I didn't detect anything particularly outrageous. You're saying, oh, he's got that reputation. I don't care. I'm not interested in dwelling on that. If someone wants to talk to me, I will judge them based on what they say to me, period. And out of all of the right-wingers I've talked to, right? I've talked to a lot of right-wingers. It's just that some of them I've talked to more than once, right? These same people also believe that Soleimani was a great guy. He was. But also think that Trump killing him was fine. We don't think it's fine. We are aware of the reality, though, however, a reality which Trump himself admitted, that Trump basically didn't make the decision to do that. That was a decision made by the neoconservatives that he had to pack his administration with as a deal with Sheldon Adelson and Benjamin Netanyahu, who Trump said he regretted doing because Netanyahu stabbed him in the fucking back, more or less. We're not saying that absolves Trump of responsibility, but Trump is a symbol. He's more than just Trump the person, by the way. Finally, the guy who is the literal definition of a capitalist oligarch, not really, he's not really, is one who's left-wing. That's absolutely possible, by the way. You could definitely be a billionaire who's, in terms of being a politician, left-wing. They exist in China. Isn't there a communist billionaire in Russia who's like setting up his own communist utopia or some shit? Why is that a contradiction? Frederick Engels owned a factory, right? And no, he's not the definition of a capitalist oligarch. He's the definition of a failed capitalist oligarch. There's a big difference, okay? The actual capitalist oligarchs are not running for office as politicians. Trump is doing that because Trump is a celebrity, first and foremost, not a capitalist oligarch. If you think Trump represents the ruling elite's economic power, you have no idea of how the power structure in this country works. Obviously, Trump is a very rich man, and his celebrity status came from that fact. But Trump is not with the actual big dogs in terms of the economic elites. He's considered a clown and a joke by them, and he always was. If you can't understand that, you have... I mean, what a stupid fucking thing to say. Like, these are the people whose entire side is billionaires. George Soros, Bloomberg, all these fucking... Dude, who do the billionaires fund? The billionaires fund... Thank you so much, Crack Deal. Appreciate you, man. It's the billionaires that are funding their side. The Democrats and the liberals and the left even. Right? It all comes from billionaires. Trump is the one rich guy who stepped out of line and was like, no, it's Trump. There's Peter Thiel, who's in bed with the military-industrial complex in his own way, but he's still an outsider as far as the elite is concerned. And that's it. But for some reason, we're always given Trump as the epitome of the ruling class, even though he's the exception and not the rule. Your brain on populism. Can you name me a single substantive left-wing movement in history that wasn't populist? I'll let you cook on that. Is this dude for real? Yes, I am. Option 1. The world is going insane, and logic no longer exists. The authoritarians, along with their worrying rise in the West, have led the anti-democratic alliance. Cry about it, bitch. What does that even mean? Which fascists? You mean like the Azov battalion, which your side is funding? This guy looks like a troll. Yeah, I am a troll. But I'm a troll who's here to deliberately inflict mental damage on you. I'm not a troll just to make myself laugh. I'm a troll out to get your mental well-being. Anyway, let's move on to some other... Send me some stuff, guys. Show requests. This ought to be good. This is from 2 days ago. Haas wrote a 35-page essay on Maga communism. The Hitler family estate this week is accused and Fred of plagiarizing Mein Kampf. 37 upvotes, the most upvoted in the entire subreddit. I guess it's only funny. I guess it's only really funny to make fun of this when you've actually read the essay and they're trying to say it's Mein Kampf and just how fucking stupid that is. For some reason, I was compelled to read it. By page 3, he had already mentioned Vosh. Couldn't get past 5 pages because the writing is atrocious. That's subjective. Somewhat incoherent because you're uneducated and stupid. And he gets a few basic historical facts wrong. Which ones? Which ones? I see you put few in parentheses, in quotation marks. So I'm assuming that there's actually many historical facts that are wrong. Can you name one? I might read again later as I still have some brain cells to kill. He made Ordo socialism a real thing. I've got to look that up. I don't know the reference. Is that a Vosh joke? It's an ideology from Hearts of Iron 4. Combines Marxism with strong chauvinistic and xenophobic characteristics. It's okay. Where is the xenophobia in this essay? I don't know. Can someone please get Voss to read it on stream? It even mentions him. Yeah, please. I would love to see Voss take a crack at my essay. The Incel Manifesto. 2 upvotes. Voss should check this on stream. Would recommend Shark covering Haas ranting on Mechatakis. He's serious guy. Why is everything so mean to him? That gave me an aneurysm. Nobody cares. I just think it's hilarious he did this. I think it's hilarious that this is unironically, I will stand by this, probably the most significant contribution to political theory in the second half of 2022. I'm certain of that. I want to kind of say in 2022 as a whole. But I will be generous in saying the second half of 2022, there is not a more significant, more groundbreaking contribution to the objective science of political theory than my Maga communism thing. I'm confident in the second half of 2022. Now, the whole of 2022, probably, right? But I can't. Who knows? Maybe there's some brilliant stuff out there that's flown under the radar, as far as I know. But I have made novel contributions to the sphere of political theory. And this is a brilliant article, unironically. I'm going to call my own article brilliant, because it is. It is actually beautiful when you understand how coherent and simple it actually is, right? The whole thing is basically charting. This whole thing is written to basically delve deeper and deeper into this rabbit hole of how below the political spectrum, which is the represented form of modern politics, there's this subterrestrial kind of force that is animating actual and objective politics, which, as you find out, amounts to some kind of revival of the pre-modern land empires that were preemptively destroyed, right? That there's this objectivity of these civilizations which represent these polarities. Thank you so much, Alan.
The Fuentes Os Convo is a classic. L for Destiny.
Thank you, Alan. That there's these objective, like, civilizational polarities that are subterrestrially hijacking the forces of modern politics to realize themselves, right? From the future. It's kind of brilliant, actually, right? Utilizing the political subject of the partisan. I think it is a really brilliant piece. I'm saying it's groundbreaking for political theory, especially because I don't think anyone's nailed the paradox of the political spectrum. Zizek once has kind of pointed out how it's impossible to escape the left and right divide, but I really expand on that by saying the real dichotomy is not between the political spectrum left and right. It's between the entire political spectrum itself, taken as the abstracted and represented form of modern politics, and partisanship. So, on the one hand lies the political spectrum, on the other hand lies actual engaged subjective partisanship. I think that's a brilliant, brilliant kind of insight, and I have no problem patting myself on the back saying that. You think it's hilarious, but if you came on stream and tried to explain why it's hilarious, you'd fall short. Again, all of this kind of stems back to, and this is a real tragedy, guys. I'm going to just tell you a tragedy. It is quite tragic, but it's the truth. A lot of people just saw some clip of me on Twitter once. They saw some thing of me, and then they were like, you know what? This is who Haas is. That's all he is, right? Because they have pornographic brains, porn-addled brains. Suddenly, everything I do has to be filtered through that first impression they got of me. And I can do nothing about that. It's actually quite sad. But I just can sit back and laugh at these actual fucking idiots who are making it seem like everyone's... Like, dude, I get that you have a poor initial impression of me, but that's not like some ground to stand on. It's not like there's substance behind that. The fact that you have this vague impression of me based on a meme or two doesn't actually... you can't actually use that as a shield when you're trying to engage in reasonable discourse. You can't just be like, oh, well, Haas is ridiculous because Haas is wrong and stupid because that's the vague, irrational, and unjustifiable impression that I got from him based purely on prejudice and the bias of a first impression. I mean, dude, I'm not going to crucify you if you have an impression of me in a certain way. You're not obliged to care about me or give me the charity of actually researching what I'm actually about and who the fuck I am. But when you sit here and start making Reddit comments complaining about how you have this cognitive dissonance, that you find it impossible that I could be a very brilliant political theorist who at the same time has given you the first impression that I am just a stupid guy or whatever, that's not my problem. You can't just make it seem like there's substance to that prejudice you have. There isn't. Sorry, bitch. Dumb fuck. You think of me in a certain way, sure. But it's not justified by reason. It's justified by some kind of unconscious impression you have of me. Not by any kind of contrived, creature of the intellect. It's not coming from your intellect. It's coming from an extreme bias you've had. Which, was it intentional or did I just... Is there a fucking bug? I killed it. I killed it. It's a giant fucking flying bug. A giant one. I fucking killed it. Thank you, Harold. Appreciate you.
It's a shame Vosh won't debate you. He got really scared and nervous when you called him out on his map behavior.
Yeah, he won't. No, frankly... God, focus on the substance. Yeah, you have this vague impression of me as I'm a stupid guy, whatever. But where's the substance to that impression, right? Oh, you just yell. By the way, do you know what I yell about? Do you know why I yell? Do you think I just yell for no reason irrationally? In almost every case in which I've yelled, 99% of the time, it's just people interrupting me and I have to yell to just be heard because they're constantly interrupting me. It's something people do when they think they can just not treat you like a human being and your voice doesn't matter because you're a fucking Arab and your voice doesn't fucking matter. It's something they do, right? When they... And I don't mean to play the race card, but I don't see anyone else who gets treated that way, right? I'm unapologetically an Arab man. I don't talk like a respectable leftist wearing glasses, kind of, theater kid, whatever. Just because of that, people feel like they have the right to not afford me the ability to actually get a point in even, right? These people won't even let me get a sentence in, then complain when I get frustrated. Thank you so much, Carlos.
Neoliberal bugs on the offensive.
And the problem is, I do interrupt people sometimes, but I'm almost never wrong about anticipating what they're going to say. But people try to anticipate what I'm going to say, and they're totally off the mark. And that's the fucking problem. That's really the problem, isn't it? Every time I've yelled, there's been a reason. I've been disrespected. They called me a name. They tested my patience in the form of some kind of ad hom attack. They've constantly interrupted me to the point where they are deliberately trying to frustrate me. You guys saw it in the President Sunday debate. I will literally be like, dude, just wait a second. Let me get 20 seconds in to say something. No. And then eventually, yes, it does fucking trigger me. And I will fucking yell. And I will get close to the fucking mic and start yelling. I will fucking do that. So I can be heard. And so I can make the point that I want to make. Why don't you listen to what I have to say when I yell? You ever thought of that? Anyway, so that's I'm wrecking havoc on these Reddits, actually. Let's see. The people want countless people to die so that Russia can get even bigger for reasons. No, I think the people stand with the idea of a country that is representing a people who have been kept down, beaten, battered, and oppressed, similar to the working class of Western countries, versus everything that epitomizes the corruption of our current globalist establishment. Anyway, that one, they're just coping with that. Let's check on Haas. Based? Gonna meet him at the gas station tonight. I don't get that joke. Ha's having a normal one. Is he wearing a fez to make himself look taller? Can someone laugh for me? Because I forgot to. Someone should add... I don't believe everyone at Dude, not everyone in DGG is over 5'8". There's no fucking way in hell, okay? This shit is just like, what does this joke even mean? Someone should add at the bottom a real-time strategy game. Message to the Caliph with this photo. Based? It's to cover his bald patch. You can't see my fucking bald patch in this direction. You can see it in this direction. Can't see it in this direction, you dumb fuck. Get it right. Fez to make someone taller, that doesn't even make sense. It really doesn't. I'm upvoting that. It doesn't even fucking make sense. On his Mongol redemption arc. Well, the Fez is... Okay, whatever. Based ad, well-fitting ad. Based. Actually is based. What the fuck? How does this guy know that? It's actually true, in a way. I've had the Fez for a long time. But this is actually true. Let's not. I like his hat. You know what? Based. Shut the fuck up, bitch. What a useless comment. I don't understand why people who like Stalin or Mao or Lenin get off easy as opposed to neo-Nazis. I don't think the Nazis were significantly worse, and by the numbers of the 20th century, communists blew Nazis out of the water. Even if this was true, which it's not, the Nazis were one country versus communism, which encompassed, at one point, 25% of the world's population. Or 25% of the world's governments. I forget which one exactly it is, so this is just a stupid point. It's not even true, by the way. But, this is like, just cry about it, dude. It's so stupid, it doesn't have to be addressed. Like, no, the Nazis deliberately embarked on a campaign to exterminate an entire group of people based on their race. Even if Stalin and Mao killed trillions of people because of their perceived threat to the national security of the state, the reasoning does not indict them in the same way as it does the Nazis. Period, right? Judging by ideology, I don't think the Nazis were worse. I mean, that is such a bad argument because ideology is what you would have to concede the communists were better on. The communists preached, you know, the fraternity of all peoples and the solidarity of all peoples and the equality of all peoples. Communists didn't believe in using violence to exterminate people. As far as the ideology was concerned, you would probably have an easier chance trying to say that by practice, purely judging by practice, you don't think the Nazis were significantly worse, given the amount of violence involved in 20th century communism, right? But you would also be wrong because the violence in this case is violence corresponding to either a civil war or a civil conflict of some kind. In terms of direct state repressions and a direct order by the state to kill people, I am confidently going to say all of the communist countries combined didn't even come close to the Nazis, period. But in terms of people who were killed in civil conflicts of some kind, which are usually just kind of given the broad brush of repressions, right? But oftentimes the repression was coming from a civil strife within villages and communities, not because of direct orders by the state. Oftentimes you had the opposite occur. Thank you so much, Mescalito.
Nick from RBN said he wanted to debate Maga communism with Jackson, but you'd be better for the gig. May even convince him. Big audience with similar sympathies over there. I think it'd be good
I am
for
definitely down to debate him. Let me know when I can debate him. I'm definitely down to debate him. Thank you so much, Mescalito. I am 100% down to debate that guy. Like 1,000% down, right? But, for example, in the Cultural Revolution in China, Mao was not calling for anyone to be killed. Mao was calling for a cultural revolution, and he was calling for criticisms and things. He wasn't calling for violence. The violence was affected by the fanaticism of the Red Guards, which Mao oftentimes had to step in and rein in. Like, you guys are going too far, right? So that's different. But the final solution and the orders to exterminate entire peoples were coming from the top down in the case of the Nazis. Also, you don't really see pogroms happening in this case. Even if it wasn't coming from the top down, the violence is not based on hatred of your race or hatred, you're a subhuman or anything like that. It's still internal to the logic of a universal state. So the logic is different. It's nowhere close, right? But the truth is, the overwhelming majority of deaths that happen under communism are not because of political violence. They're because of famine, right? No one's denying the famines happened, and they were horrible. But the question is, how do you make sense of those famines within the context of the fact that the transition from pre-modern agrarian societies to modern societies has always accompanied severe disruptions in the food supply, even for the some centuries-long process it took Europe to make that same transition. You saw the same kinds of disruptions in the food supplies. That's not to mention that communist states did not have the advantage of colonialism, which oftentimes did mitigate that kind of transition, right? It maybe wasn't as sudden or as proportionally equivalent in the case of Europe, because the process of primitive accumulation and the extraction of raw materials and resources wasn't really primarily an internal process. The Industrial Revolution in England was fueled by the British Empire's colonies and the raw materials that were acquired from those colonies. Soviet Union and China had to engage in a kind of process of internal colonization. So to really measure up and judge communism's violence historically, you have to take into account what level of famine, repression, and violence accompanied colonialism as far as the English Industrial Revolution is concerned. How many massacres and repressions and internment camps, yada, 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 and forced labor, primitive accumulation was responsible for laying the foundations of the Industrial Revolution in Europe? I think that the violence in the Soviet Union, however horrible it is, and the famine pales in comparison to that when you take that and factor that into account. The Nazis were genociding groups of people almost exclusively for their race, but also things like sexuality and disabilities, while the Soviet Union were pretty indiscriminate of who they were genociding. Even their own people were getting thrown in the gulag. I feel like Nazi ideology is much worse. This guy's not retarded, at least. That being said, both, I don't know what this means, and Tankies are cringe, and they need to get laid or smoke the weed so they can drop the shenanigans. I smoked, not this year, but last year, to fix my insomnia. Not like every day, but I have smoked weed before, and I've also, I don't mean to brag. I'm not much of a bragger myself, but, I'm pretty sure a lot of us have done both of these things and are still tankies. But, yeah. The Soviets were actually quite selective about which ethnic groups they mass deported. Yeah, but deportations were not necessarily a form of, I want to get rid of this group's existence. For example, a lot of the deportations could also be called evacuations, like the ones that happened in World War II, right? But also there were deportations that were based on security concerns. I'm not necessarily saying it's justified, I'm just giving a description. But it wasn't deporting them from the country, it was just relocating them. The thing about the Soviet Union is that it was not like a free market society where people lived was based on this kind of socialistic system. So the state deciding where people lives, it's not very out of the ordinary in general, right? It's not like they were removed from society as the key point. You're not talking about a removal from society. You're talking about a shuffling of the bureaucratic socialist organization of where certain people live. They're talking about the ideological aspect.
Good morning, Revolution.
Thank you so much, Lionel. I'm not going to get into this. This is taking too long. You're getting into the Nazi communist debate. The aesthetics, good. Everything else is stupid. Finally has good lighting. There's not really a lot of hate here. I'm surprised. Next he will convert to Buddhism, then to, I got a fucking aneurysm, Illuminati, right? The Fez drip is Unreal based. Yeah, this guy's a porn addict. Mastering the Blade. That's kind of, I'm not gonna leave it alone. Based. Should I upvote this just because it's like, it's such a generic comment that it deserves recognition. The Moscow Manlit, I'm upvoting it. It's just such a, like an NPC thing to say. I'm just impressed by it. I can't believe this isn't even photoshopped. You know what's funny is I'm wearing a better hat. I'm wearing an even better hat for this one. That's what's even better and more impressive. Haas tweet sampler platter. Seminal text. No one outside of Twitter or Reddit has ever heard of MAGA communism. Sit the fuck down. Your name is Folk Philosopher, and I am about to emasculate and humiliate you for the rest of your life. Emasculation is probably a bit redundant, but I'm going to humiliate you for the rest of your life, right? You're going to go to sleep tonight knowing you're a stupid fuck, and your parents are going to be disappointed they raised an idiot, or even worse, gave birth to an idiot, that maybe you didn't even have a chance. You're just born a dumb fuck. I guarantee you that every criticism of MAGA communism you've ever heard was thoroughly addressed in this seminal text. Now, if you don't know what seminal means, it basically means some kind of eventual or decisive significance. So what is this seminal text of? It's the seminal text of MAGA communism. The claim is not that MAGA communism is seminal for American society, whatever that would even mean. That's not even really an appropriate use of the word seminal, conventionally at least. As far as MAGA communism is concerned, once you acknowledge that this is at least a hashtag or a thing that got people talking, which it wasn't an online phenomena. You can at least admit that. It wouldn't be controversial. The seminal text for MAGA communism is this text, right? This is the text that inspired people as far as MAGA communism was concerned. Now, if you don't think MAGA communism is relevant, then don't talk about it. But you're talking about it now. So shut the fuck up. If you're going to talk about MAGA communism, you should acknowledge the seminal text of MAGA communism. If you want to say that MAGA communism is just irrelevant, then don't talk about it. But as long as you're going to talk about MAGA communism, and we've got it clear that it's something worth talking about, you do have to acknowledge that this is the seminal text of MAGA communism. Point blank and period. This is the seminal text of MAGA communism. Okay? I remember people complaining about the use of seminal before, right? And I never got around to actually addressing this extremely stupid, pedantic thing. People who think they're smart midwits, but they're actually not. Oh, it's not seminal because MAGA communism is irrelevant. No, it's seminal for MAGA communism. You don't know what seminal... This is the seminal text of MAGA communism. MAGA communism does not need to be relevant for it to have a seminal text. as long as we acknowledge that MAGA communism, it doesn't, people are going to be pedantic. MAGA communism does not have to be particularly relevant for society as a whole for it to have a seminal text. It clearly needs to be relevant to some degree for you to even be talking about it in the first place, which you are and which you have been doing for about half a year now. So shut the fuck up, sit down. You're not a smart person, you're not a philosopher, and you're not an intellectual. You have just been completely blown the fuck out by a guy who you have gone your entire life thinking was the epitome of a dumbass who doesn't know anything and is wearing a silly hat. And I just completely shattered any sense of self-confidence you may ever have in your own intellectual capacity. Sit the fuck down, you stupid kid. You dumb fuck. Calling yourself folk philosopher. You're a dumb fuck. I suspect anyone who you said Hitlerite instead of Nazis to be a Strasserist. That's a new one. Pretty sure Hitlerite is referring to the Nazis in actual, like, reality. Nobody cares about Strasserism. Speaking of irrelevance, who gives a fuck about Strasserism? Strasserism has no relevance outside of leftism. It's just a leftist boogeyman that leftists use to characterize Jimmy Dore supporters. I doubt that there are any significant Strasserist phenomena going on in the world at all. Now, this one is probably my favorite so far of our entire odyssey going through Reddit. Bring that MAGA communism to a MAGA gathering, please. How do I give them an award? How do I do this? How do I give award? How do I give an award to this? This is the best thing I've ever seen ever. Wait, hold on. There's another one. There's another one. Has Haas even meet any actual MAGA people himself?
What did she say?
What
you say? That you only meant well, cause you did. What you say?
Jason Derulo.
That it's all for the best, cause it is.
I was so wrong for so long, only trying to please myself. Girl,
Last panel, he admits that he who shall not be named isn't a CIA agent. All of those horses were fucked without government backing. I'd love to know what this is referring to. Any political influencer who wasn't extremely controversial is 100% a shill for the establishment. So, I have to explain basic logic to these uncivilized, dumb fuck barbarians. So let me do that. If I say that any political influencer who isn't considered extremely controversial is 100% a shill for the establishment, it is actually not the equivalent to saying, this is how I know you'd fail the LSAT if you took it, it is not the equivalent to saying that political influencers who are considered extremely controversial could not possibly be shills for the establishment. It just means that we know, at the least for certainty, in the case of political influencers who aren't considered extremely controversial, that they are indeed 100% shills for the establishment. I could also say, for example, that Vosh, who, while being extremely controversial, is 100% a shill for the establishment because of their actual positions they forward and put out there. Okay, saying, why do you, dude, can you, everyone please think. I just beg people to think. Please use logic. Please use logic. Please use logic correctly. If I say, every dog that wears a yellow collar is 100% ugly, it doesn't mean that dogs who don't wear yellow collars aren't ugly. It just means that in the case of 100% of dogs who are wearing yellow collars, they are ugly. It doesn't even mean that there's a less likelihood of a chance that dogs who wear red collars are ugly. 100% of dogs who wear red collars can also be ugly. You see how logic works? This is the stuff that you need to understand to do things like pass the LSAT or complete your first year of law school without studying. Which is what I did, by the way, bitch. Fuck the haters and the doubters. You know what's funny? I'm such a dumbass, guys, that I streamed full time my first year of law school, which is the hardest year by far. Ask any law student. I passed it with flying colors. B's, not perfect. Flying colors, it's still passing. And I was streaming full time. You know how fucking hard that is? That means I wasn't even attending my classes or studying, and I still passed the exams. Tell me that's fucking easy, dude. It's not easy. You have to be really smart to do that. You have to be really smart to absorb an entire semester's worth of material in like a week or 2 days. You guys remember when I was studying for my finals while I was streaming? I was like, guys, I have to take the next 2 days off because I have the finals. You guys remember that shit? I was like, yeah, I'm just going to take like 2 or 3 days off. Fuck it. I passed. Tell me I'm fucking stupid, dude. I don't even try. I didn't even try in school. And I fucking landed in law school with a scholarship, by the way. A scholarship. Tell me I'm fucking stupid, dude. WTF is Maga communism. Well, get the story for the dumbass horse's mouth. He actually linked the Substack. Bravo. Good lord, talk about stupidity. I'm going to go ahead and say this is a bluff. Talk about the stupidity. Go ahead. It's very long-winded at that. Yeah, you have a porn-addled brain and you just watch porn. Sorry your attention span can't allow you to consume dense theoretical material. More cringe for you. Different blog. Nazis, but they like red a lot. Based on what? He is what he says we are. Right-wing ops. Imagine you're me, and I'm not a right-wing op, and I see people coping like this, and how confident that makes me in what I'm doing, and how much these people are full of shit. Totally not crypto-fash. Globalist Gaia worshippers, what is that? Haas is just a straight out of fascist at this point. Why? He's already using code words that mean Jews. Why does globalist mean Jew? Are you talking about the long-standing history of Nazis calling Jews internationalistic? And like Henry Ford's The International Jew? But that has nothing to do with globalism. Globalism is not internationalism. We are internationalists, by the way. Globalism, you have to read like Kojev to understand globalism. You have to read like postmodernism to understand globalism. Globalism is not Jews. And I've said as much explicitly. Maybe you're the anti-Semite, dumb fuck. He'll give him a few months and he'll start doing these apologetics. Okay, give me a few months and see if I'll start doing that, sure. But if you're wrong, you get a downvote and nothing else. Is that their groups cause so little political change. Okay, we'll see. Is it just me that hears the... It's the same people. It's the same people commenting. But guys...
What did she say? What you say? That you only meant well, cause you did. What you say?
Jason Derulo.
That it's all for the best, cause it is.
I was so wrong for so long, only trying to please myself. Girl, I was caught up in her lust when I don't really want no one else. So no, I know I should have treated you better, but me and you were meant to last forever.
Like, wow, dude, you're really telling on yourself. Honestly, you're really just telling on yourself. Caring about the environment is being... Yeah. True. Alright, let's keep going. Manifest Destiny, I want to read this one, is not complete until the US liberates Canada. Based and factual. This has to be a joke. It's kind of not. He's been tweeting positively about Tucker's idea of the US military invading Canada. I mean, that's not serious. This is not serious, but you bet in a revolutionary scenario, you think Canada is just going to be there and just not be a threat to a proletarian dictatorship? It will. It's kind of like obvious.
Based.
I have a student who,
Thank you,
VC
Gray.
another student stole snacks from me, demanded I had to give him snacks, looking forward to his contributions to Reddit logic.
MAGA communist is basically just another way of saying National Socialist. Why? It's really not. Like, socialism is such like a muddied, vague word. And national is not really anything in particular. It's just kind of referring to loyalty to the institutions of the state. MAGA is just like counter-hegemonic, the other America, flyover America. And communist is explicitly referring to a very specific historical lineage. Communism isn't referring to like an abstract idea of, it's referring to like the Stalin, Mao, real communist, capital C kind of communism, right? So it's really not, like, it's really not, you know? This is referring to Marxism, Leninism. So how is that National Socialism? I don't get it. National Socialism is anti-Marxist, but this is Marxist. I think that's a pretty clear distinction, isn't it? What does this have to do with me? I don't know what this is. Infrared backtracks from tweet claiming US is already socialist. Says it was just a joke. By the way, he did this 30-minute video based on this tweet. I just randomly tweeted some shit that, to be fair, like, you know, it's kind of an inside joke or whatever. I mean, the claim that the US is already socialist isn't a joke. But the whole, I wonder if you guys are ready to know, is referring to an inside joke. The inside joke being that we are in the know about the fact that the US is already socialist. Anyway. This 30-minute video based on this tweet. I just randomly tweeted some... I feel like my mic was better back then. What do you guys think? Anyway, I want to get my mic to be better. Explain how we reject a multiracial working class. Let me just think off the top of my head why you would say this. So Infrared rejects a multiracial working class because I pointed out that Luna Oi, who is weaponizing her Vietnamese and POC identity against me, an actual POC man, I was pointing out that she indeed has a white American boyfriend. And that somehow is an indictment against the multiracial American working class. Good thing this only got 180 likes, you stupid fuck. How is that racist? I'd love to know how that's racist. Infrared and its consequences. So what? I don't get the problem. Where's the joke here? The only thing that's out of the ordinary is the soy jacks. Everything else makes sense. Landbridge. Stalin should have been the Pope. Why does he need to be a Pope? He was a Red Tsar. Abolish the family. Pfft, ultra. Yeah, that's probably something Engels would say too, if he was confronted with the insane idea of abolishing the family. Like, not just the specific capitalistic one that's based on money that he was talking about, but like families, normal, natural relationships between men and women in general. He would probably have this reaction if you tried to tell him, we want to abolish the normal, natural family. Communism is conservative. But it is, right? Unless it's not real communism, which is pretty much your position. Maga communism brain rot from the Deprogram. So much of this is fine, but there's a few sneaky fucked up things in there. The wrong fucking flag in the background! Please tell me what the right flag is, then. These concessions should not be conceded. They should be things you need to educate the working class on. Yeah, having like a circle jerk discussion. I don't care about it. This feels nosable. Why? That's exactly what MAGA communism is. Based on what? There's a whole 1,200 word Substack. It's more like 12,000, but okay. Explaining what this cluster of an ideology is. I think this exists because Haas himself doesn't care about ideology. True. Sounds stupider than usual Nazballs. He might have some compulsion. It's called not being a dumb fuck. 25-point plan vibes. How? The fact they start with a rest list with George Soros pisses me off. A clear neo-Nazi dog whistle. So I have to stress that these people are part of the Deprogram, which claims to be critical of U.S. imperialism and claims to be supportive of the USSR and the Eastern Bloc. After all, Hakim's videos almost exclusively consist in a defense of the post-Stalin USSR's socialism and the Eastern Bloc. So it's curious why these supporters of Hakim and the Deprogram have such a soft spot for George Soros, who quite literally took responsibility for the collapse of the Eastern Bloc and the Berlin Wall. And he almost exclusively took responsible for the springtime of nations in Eastern Europe. George Soros like explicitly says, yes, I'm the one who destroyed communism in Eastern Europe. And they love him. It's crazy. Donald Trump. I have announced the deportation of Pompeo based the man I appointed as Secretary of State. Well, that's because Trump had to make a deal. Maybe he wouldn't have to have had made a deal if there was a left-wing Maga that had a scientific plan to ground it in the working class, instead of the confused mush having to make all these compromises with the Republican establishment, which we are, of course, critical of Trump on. It's the whole point of MAGA communism. Enough commie spam. Haas, can you just admit you're a Republican? Yeah, I'm a communist Republican. Democratic Republic of Korea. Democratic People's Republic of Korea Republican. Stupid poll. What's the sub-opinion of MAGA communism? Online, very, very online. So what? Show me anything interesting going on offline in terms of formulating a political strategy, and I'll play ball with you. MAGA communism doesn't include free healthcare, but your gym membership will get subsidized. Sounds like free healthcare to me. MAGA communism is when you hate liberals so much you decide to side with... I don't know, if I have to, like, for those who have maybe mental disabilities, nothing wrong with that. This doesn't mean it doesn't include free healthcare. It just means that in Jackson's list, he didn't include it. Probably because it's probably not even controversial at this point. I think most Americans already agree with that. And then the other thing is that he probably just doesn't want to associate with Bernie Sanders. But, I mean, yeah, free healthcare is probably a given. MAGA communism is when you hate liberals so much, but there's also the China model and there's other models, so who knows. I don't believe in a healthcare dogma, per se, in terms of what kind. Like, does it have to be the Bernie Sanders kind? Well, why not something like the NHS, where it's nationalized? Why not a Chinese model where everyone does... I mean, I believe in universal healthcare, but one of the flaws of the Bernie movement is that they used Bernie's single-payer healthcare as the only litmus test, which it was an effective litmus test, because all the others, Democrats, who were like, oh, I want universal healthcare, but a different form, it was basically their way of, like, saying, yeah, I'm a fake fuck who's gonna compromise with the elites and the establishment. So I get it, but it's like, there should be an ability to have more flexibility when it comes to policy while also being able to maintain the populist credentials. You should never attach them to a specific thing. So you believe being extremely online is a good thing? AM, can you please walk me through the logic of how you are justified in asking that question?
Do you think the nationalization of agriculture, natural resources, and the energy sector is a primary distinguishing factor of MAGA communism?
It's one of them, yes. But you believe being online is okay? Yes, I do. Utilizing the most advanced forms of Hold on, this is a weird meme. But utilizing the most advanced forms of information and communication technologies is not only a good thing, it's a must. But at the same time, you should try to have some touch with the real world. But using the internet to communicate ideas, there's nothing wrong with that. You decide to side with anyone who hates them regardless of how much they hate you. Clearly, I should try working with the guy on the right. You want to know what's funny? I bet you anything the person who made this... I bet you anything the person who made this is just as Caucasian and white, male as this guy, but he wears glasses and he's like a PMC urban liberal. Kind of like educated, Starbucks, whatever, barista kind of guy. I bet you anything. There's no demographic, racial, or even gender difference. It's just that one of them is working class and one of them is professional managerial, and the professional managerials have a knack for trying to hide behind their tokenized, marginalized identity groups. By the way, majority of people in America, this is kind of racist too. I bet you know what? This is gonna be a long shot. But I maybe kind of wanna, thank you so much, Mason.
Caucasian does not equal white.
There are probably more women who look like this that are MAGA than are who dwell this subreddit. Probably. Leftists are not inclusive in practice. They say they are, but they're not appealing to people who are minorities in the main. I know that because I come from a minority background, by the way. Stupid poll. The rise of MAGA communism. We need new words. So Bernie was running against Trump. Who would these MAGA communists vote for? Right now, Trump. Back in 2015 or 2016, depends on who he chose as his running mate. If Bernie ran and chose like Hillary for VP, fuck Bernie. If Bernie chose a outsider to be his running mate, of course we choose Bernie, right? Like Trump Pence versus Bernie and let's say, Bernie and Russell Brand. I'm just gonna pull out of my ass. Of course we'll choose Bernie, Not even a doubt. There's no question about that. But that was back when Bernie was not the Bernie of today. Today, if Bernie ran... Dude, I support fucking Joe Manchin against Bernie right now. Fuck Bernie. The right wing of the Democratic Party is better than Bernie right now. Because they're not on board with the Progressive Caucus. That's saying something. And those people are my enemies, by the way. All Democrats are my enemy. But, Bernie is, like, a Hitlerite, pretty much. The movement started by a billionaire will galvanize the will of the working class. Okay, keep me posted. Well, he already galvanized the will of the American working class. You just weren't at the table because you scoffed at it for the fact that he was a billionaire. But it's already a working class movement. Seems like these people don't like it. This is so retarded. I want to quit. Then quit. What? Is this stupid poll? It's so funny how like we scare the Amy Teresa
Trotsky
crowd.
was of
Thank you,
German
Mason.
descent. His last name was Bronstein.
Isn't it funny how we scare like the Amy Teresa edgelords? They're like, we're the post left, we're the post left, we're like the Bernie bro left, and it's like, no, we're the fucking badass people. You guys are pussies. You guys are fucking leftists. We are the dragons. You guys are mice. You want to talk a bad motherfucker? That's us, dude. You guys sound like leftists when you react to us. You could talk, make staying arguing on the mass movement situated outside of status quo and Obama's rise to power. No, you couldn't. I'll explain why. Thank you, Paperwin.
Maga communism will never work, Hayes. So say the people that shun and never speak to their conservative fathers and uncles.
Obama was somewhat, there's a grain of truth in this, but a key difference with Obama is that Obama was supported by the open society. He was still part of the democratic open society progressivism, which did have a basis in the billionaire-funded civil society of America. So, no, it's not the same. I get it that it's big talk and no different action, but the phenomena of Obama and Trump are different. But Obama's campaign was more promising than his actual presidency, but you have to analyze the factors behind that. It wasn't because Obama was compromising with the establishment, it's that he joined the establishment. Trump compromised with them, but he didn't really join them. And you're going to start seeing that. That's why Trump got raided by the FBI and Obama didn't, for example, right? By virtue of class position, the average person at a Trump rally is a greater threat to capitalism than the average member of the DSA. That's just factually true. There's like flies flying around and shit. Holy fuck. Where are these bugs coming from? German social democrat vibes here. What? What does this have to do with anything? Okay. We can't have a drunken madman spreading conspiracy theories all over the world. What are you going to do about it? Because you can't ban me off of Rumble, so I guess you can have it because you can't do shit about it, bitch. We live in the worst timeline. Based. Oh, it's the bot Teo826, who's actually a bot. Based. Isn't this that one guy? Who's the guy said is a pussy? Pogan! Pogan is a pussy. This is Pogan. Pogan, get a fucking life. Haas is unwell and I have a hard time watching him. I don't know if he's okay. Maybe it's good content. But I feel like I'm watching someone who's not well. He seems like he's unkickable. Chajala getting kicked left and right, but Haas loops for 3 hours and is just fine. Kickable from what? Oh my god, this is a paragraph. Let me brace myself for this paragraph. God, I'm so tired. Let me go ahead and brace myself. I honestly feel like the dude's a tragic character. It's obvious that not just anyone can be a streamer and not have it affect you drastically. Check how his demeanor is like a year or two ago. Dude was super calm and was funny as shit too. This dude liked to fuck around and have fun. You even notice it in his early debates with Destiny where he's super cordial and doesn't just shut down when he can't find an answer to something. To be fair, it's probably not easy dealing with having thousands of eyes on you, scrutinizing every move you do. People's perception on the internet stays cemented on the internet. Super paranoid, constantly on the offense and self-conscious because of that, and with good reason, to be honest. Also, I don't know why, but I have a feeling that most people that follow him are probably just like to watch him freak out and exaggerate his behavior for content like Zerka did. Sad to see him go down this route because this guy's pretty smart. Damn. Damn, yeah, that is pretty tragic. It's alright, dude, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. I've been thinking the same thing, and I'm linking towards it being an act. I'll respond to this sincerely. I knew what I was getting myself into. I threw myself into a viper's pit, if you will. A den of snakes. I have scars from it, and I've been irreversibly altered by being on the internet, very clearly. But I knew what I was getting myself into. And I've become a machine. What's that? You said I'm super paranoid. It's because I've become a machine. I've spared no wasteful thoughts or energy. Thank you so much, Mason.
Long live us down with the red libs.
I become a war machine, right? It's simple. Friend or enemy. It's that simple, right? There's no in between. And that happened because for the first time in my life, I was exposed to, like, that there is really an agenda against me. Like, I'm not kidding. It's very real, dude. Even when I was not a very large streamer, like, you don't know this because you're not in my POV, but you start out on the internet very innocent and thinking, oh, it's just like all lighthearted, whatever. And then you find out, like, oh my god, like, this person who is friendly to me is running a Discord with like 100 people, methodically planning how to deplatform me and report me and catch me saying something to get me banned, or, you know, comb through hours of my footage on Twitch to get me banned, spreading like malicious lies about me through DMs, by the way, before it's even public, like making relationships. I mean, it's so meticulous and methodical, like it's incredible, right? And you really do get exposed to like genuine human evil. I used to not be able to be ahead of that because I can't really just put myself in the shoes of someone who just like wants to lie about people. I can't ever imagine lying like that, you know? I can't imagine having such a problem with someone and not being able to articulate that problem rationally. I can't ever imagine like, oh, I hate this person, so I'm going to be like Bad Empanada and try to destroy their reputation. That's why Bad Empanada, not going to talk too much on this, but, you know, they, as an influencer, it wasn't actually There was the Destiny Orbiters, are probably the first. But Bad Empanada was someone who had it out for you and was butthurt and seething about you, but couldn't even articulate that rationally, so immediately started to resorting to, like, extremely, like, malicious personal tactics to attack and defame you and destroy your reputation and shit. It's like being unable to actually, like, look in the mirror and be like, this is my problem with Haas. It's based in jealousy because I'm an incel in Argentina and I'm jealous of this guy's immediate success. I've been in this game for years and years. I'm Bad Empanada. I'm a fucking failure. I can't do anything. I can't get anywhere. Here comes Haas eclipsing me in a short amount of time in terms of relevance. He will never look himself in the mirror and just be like, I'm just a butthurt, bitter bitch loser. He immediately goes to these personal attacks because it's for want of an ability to actually rationally respond to you. And then when it came to the whole Pat Sock thing, he had no arguments. First of all, he wouldn't debate about it, obviously. Thank you so much,
Our
Milo.
enemies are weak of purpose and weak of resolve.
Yeah, really.
None can stand against the con and expose their tiny brains once they muster the courage.
No,
Based.
really, it's really true. Like, he's a pedophile too, by the way. I can justify why that is. But, it's like, you can't actually justify your disagreements with me by the use of intellect, so you immediately have to resort to bullshit, right? That's just an example. Vosh was very similar too, by the way. Vosh was the same. And you know who else was similar? Was Destiny, by the way, when it came to the Russia-Ukraine stuff. Before then, there was no real beef with Destiny. Not real, right? But Russia-Ukraine, like, that really exposed... In my eyes, I began to see Destiny as a fundamentally dishonest person. Not even just because he disagreed with me on that conflict, but because he decided he had the right to preemptively do a public service by destroying Infrared, taking me out, banning me from Twitch, or otherwise trying to destroy my reputation because he thought I was a dangerous misinformation actor. Even though he didn't, he couldn't even be 100% certain about whether his position was correct or not. But before you pull the trigger and shoot someone, make sure you're right. Make sure you're absolutely certain. Metaphorically, I mean. Like, before you decide you're gonna, like, really try to do bad harm against someone else, really make sure that you're right. Destiny was not sure of that, by the way. He just assumed it was right because it was what the mainstream media was saying. Yeah, this is like a long time ago. Damn, this was so long ago. Genzedong. Infrared band. They're celebrating. Piece of shit. I fucking spit on you, you piece of shit. Who's that? Another Vosh-like radlib. Oh, man. These people are going straight to hell. Not even kidding. I mean, you just fucking lie. And you can keep lying and keep lying. And you may not believe in God. And I know that's why you lie, by the way. I know you lie because you don't think there's a God. And so you don't think it matters. I promise you, it matters. Even if you're right that there's no God, there is justice in this world. And maybe your miserable, miserable state of being is that justice. You can keep lying all you fucking want. You're going to be miserable for the rest of your fucking life. You will never find happiness. I'm certain of that. This is pornography brain. This person's addicted to pornography, by the way. Good fucking riddance. American exceptionalisms. Yeah, I think you're the American exceptionalist who uses the American internet, writes in English. All of the soft power you participate in is American in origin. And you probably live in America. Maybe you should be a socialist in the context where that would be meaningful. He delved into insulting other leftist appearances with his 5'8", beard to hide the double chin looking ass face. Cormoro doesn't actually believe this, because there's photos of me where you can see my chin without a beard. So he doesn't believe this, but he said it because he's miserable. He wakes up every day unhappy. So he just lies. Infra-virgin. We got a sex haver, guys. We got a sex haver on our hands. He's probably a CIA op. That's exactly what would happen to a CIA op. They'd get banned.
Based.
Was Corbyn the same as Bernie, or do you think they represented something fundamentally different?
I think it was the same phenomena. It was the same. Yeah. If you control for the different political environments of the UK and the US, obviously, yes, they're pretty much the same. The story is not quite the same for how they were destroyed, but they're very similar. But the political orientation is the same, I think. Yeah. Why do I think it's a positive thing to be online? Belonging to internet culture as a whole is a societal plague. I kind of feel like boomers and millennials hate the internet and internet culture because they just want to be safely able to be cringe offline and not have that be like challenged or updated in any kind of way. They don't want culture to like update, basically. They're like scared of the new generation. Like, I don't want to be overly online. I want you to sit here with me and I can just have cringe millennial references. No, fuck you millennials. I don't give a fuck. I'd rather be only on the internet than have to fucking deal with millennials' aesthetic and sense of humor. You're not funny and you're not cool. There's nothing wrong with internet culture. I'm sorry, dude. Like, I'm offline, and internet culture has helped me make sense of the world offline. Like, you know the "it's over" meme? Like, I look at people in real life, and I see chud jacks, and I see soy jacks. And it's all like, it's like the Matrix, ones and zeros. It makes so much beautiful sense, and I love it. Millennials hate it, because they are real life soy jacks. Show me a millennial who's not a fucking soy jack wearing glasses. Very rare. They don't want people to look at them for what they are, though. I'm a millennial, I wear glasses, but then I look at you and I see a soy jack, and you don't want that exposure to happen. So you say, oh, I don't like online. Fuck off, dude. Being online turns people to soy jacks? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Not knowing how to balance and derive your sense from the material world might do that. But as long as you use the internet properly, you're fine. You just have to use it properly. You can't just use it as a substitute for the... Dude, I hate people who posture about offline. It's like... It's one monistic internal logic of sociality, okay? Whether it's online or offline. If you master that, you can seamlessly go from offline to online, and there's like, it's no difference, right? If you think that one has to come at the expense of the other, you're just dog shit at social interaction in general. Period. It's not what the majority of people do. But, like, I don't want these people to just be offline and then I have to deal with their problems. I would rather have weird people sit on the fucking internet and be weird than bother me. You know? I'd much rather have that. I'd much rather have that. Oh, man. Alright. 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 You know why I'm saying alright? Does anyone have a clue as to why I'm saying alright? If you've got the faintest clue, I may decide to clue you in. I may not. Alright. 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 You know what that means? It means, alright, we alright. We alright. It's alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. Yes, indeed. It's gonna be alright. Oh, yes, it's gonna be alright. Alright. Yes, indeed. It's gonna be alright. I may not be able to run this shit. I maxed out the settings last night, and it had to restart to do it. So now we're gonna like see if my PC can even fucking handle. I did like full ultra ray tracing, max performance, but it is 1080p, so I should be able to do it, right? Hogwarts. Oh my. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Harry asshole. Alright, we're gonna get into the thick of it. I've got ray tracing. Maxed out settings. This game doesn't look that great. Oh, whoa! Okay. That's the cancellation spell. Alright. Alright, we're quite done cancelling people. So let's actually play the game. Alright. I can't even fucking jump! I can't jump! Is that normal? What the fuck? Sayloth! I'm coming! Sayloth!
Good morning. I trust you're ready for
Oh,
your first
it's
day
a
at
woman.
Hogwarts?
I've been dreaming of this day for a long time. Can't believe I'm here.
Well, you are here.
Well,
Make the
you
most
need
of
to
it.
realise
You
that
only
your
have one first
sexism
day
is
at
not allowed at
Now,
Hogwarts.
in light of your unique
You need to
situation,
realise
joining us as a
that
fifth
we
year,
are a
you'll
feminist
need to catch up with
school,
your classmates
and in this
not
school you
fall
must
behind.
obey the procedures
Especially as you'll be
of
expected to
feminism,
complete your
and you must
OWLs at the end
regard
of the
women
year.
as the same.
OWL.
Oh, I'm watching Andrew Tate every day, and you know what I'm
Your
saying.
ordinary
But you
wizarding
need to
lessons.
realise that
They will determine
it's not
what type of career you
acceptable
can have when you leave
to be
here.
speaking
After
poorly.
much discussion
I am
with
a
the
feminist,
headmaster and the Department of Magical
leader
Education
of the
at the Ministry,
Department of
we've devised something
Feminization.
extraordinary to ensure your success. Here you are.
National Cohesion and National Identity by Sayloth Sar. Oh, what? Oh my god! I'm reading it all! Oh my god, the glasses!
What is it?
It is
I
a
don't want
wizard's
any
field
glasses
guide.
anymore.
It will help you to keep track of what you are learning.
I'm
so
not
that you
dealing with
master
this
all
glasses
that's
wearing
expected
shit.
of a fifth year.
Oh, I forgot I can
It
skip
would be
it.
wise to take.
They don't give a fuck, bitch.
Thank you.
Perhaps sing
I don't respect women. I
this
just
way.
don't. Can I drink the water? Let me drink the water.
I certainly would have appreciated
Oh.
guide when I was. Using a guide will also train you to be alert to your
Lumos.
surroundings.
Man, what do I gotta do? For real. What do I have to do? You see this shit?
It's awful if you're sat.
You've been practicing.
Place what?
I enjoy divination.
Shut the fuck up! Shut up!
Long enough about ornithophagy to last me a lifetime. I want to hear about the Serengeti.
Transphobia! Oh, this bitch again. I don't want to deal with it.
The guide
What
will
the
give you
fuck?
opportunities to practice your magic and educate yourself about wizardry.
The serpent.
Do keep up.
Don't tell me what to do, bitch.
Why don't you cast Revelio on that
Revelio.
and see what details the field guide can provide?
What the fuck is this misogyny? Cancelled. Bring the statue down. Bring the statue down. Cancel the statue. A demon. You know what I mean? This shit is satanic. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Fuck is this? And I still have to follow them.
Keep your eyes open for more opportunities like that, inside and outside of the
No, I'm not gonna listen to you. I hate you. I hate everyone. I don't want to be in the special class. You are a troubled child. And you will be going into... You need help with your homework. No, I don't wanna. I hate everyone. These like poor teachers at school who like deal with these like kids
Good timing.
who are like super angry all the time.
Opportunity to show you how to use flue flames to get around a bit.
I can burn
Your
people.
field guide contains a map of the castle. Open it up and find
Yeah,
central.
take
hall.
away my freedom, bitch. Just like Trudeau. Can't even fucking move or anything. The grand staircase. Man, what do you want?
And here we are. Quite the time saver. These stairs lead directly
Ooh, the
to
frame
central
rate is
hall.
not good here. Is it?
You can get
Ooh,
almost
the
anywhere in the
graphics.
castle quickly from central hall.
Damn, look at these graphics. You guys see this shit? Look at
All
that
something
ray
happening
tracing.
here. It's the heart of the hive. Our King's Cross station, so to speak.
My friends and I lose track of the
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Can someone mod this
That should
game
be
so you
all
could
for
just
now.
be like
You'll be
GTA?
expected to attend both charms and
Because this environment is like, if I could have a sword and shit, this would be great. Thank you, Professor.
happily. Your
Can you
professor
leave me
has
alone?
been terribly vague.
I don't
Did take a
care.
bit of a detour on the way here. Ended up.
Exploring ruins? Well.
This
speak of
fucking pedo,
Professor
dude.
Fig.
Oh?
Yes.
I'm afraid I can't take all the...
Well, I'm just glad you.
Oh, it's lagging for you
Perfectly
guys.
good boats and carriages to
It's
Hogwarts,
lagging,
and you
isn't
chose
it?
To fly in the path of a
I wouldn't say
It's not lagging for me.
Path.
very. Might I rely on you? Good luck today, and remember to use your and invaluable.
Yes, Professor.
Come and find me in my classroom after you.
I'm not. I don't want to deal with her, man. Is she the whole story of this game? Like, I have to deal with her the whole time, right? Dude, this game looks, like, really good graphically. Like, looks better on my end than yours, but look at these reflections. It's like, wow, this is, like, impressive. Harry Potter's a garbage, like, satanic thing. But we played it because I thought Harry Asshole would be a funny name. But I don't know, is this $80? I don't know, guys. If this is worth $80, probably not.
Revelio. It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping...
This
our
game
paths
is
would
like a
cross today
grooming
before you
pedo
immersed
simulator.
yourself
It's
in
like
studies.
creepy, you know?
Did I hear you and Professor Weasley talking about exploring ruins?
She caught me off guard. I didn't tell her anything. I will say,
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and... We don't know where
Called her
this
a
path
bitch.
we've embarked upon will lead.
Debate time? I'll
It
debate
may
anyone.
require a bit more
Debate her and choke
flexibility
you.
with your time than she
Alright, I'll
would
pull the
approve of.
Destiny shit and just
she
like...
may feel obliged to share
me a
details
sec.
with the headmaster.
I have to wait till this is over. They literally can't... They don't let me pause.
As capable as you are.
Dude, this is
Happily?
fucking frustrating. It's frustrating. Okay. Okay, give me a sec. Give me a sec. I just have to lower the volume, honestly. Volume. There's no master volume. That's fine. Everyone loves that there's no master volume. Alright, I'll debate this guy. Who wants to debate me? Okay, I'm in the show. What?
Oh, hello?
Yeah.
Did you see what I said?
No, I didn't.
Read stream suggestions.
What?
Read show requests. Sorry,
What did you want to say?
I wanted to talk about internet use and the concept of being online. I'm sick. Sorry, I lost my voice.
All right,
That's what I'm talking
go
about.
ahead, talk about it.
Enchanted to help you.
This will be
I don't know.
incredibly helpful.
I don't
Thank
feel
you.
like
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead. What with classes,
being
you'll
online
enjoy
is
Mr.
necessarily something that
Ollivander.
is
He's an
good.
exceptional craftsman and a good friend.
It turns
I shall
people.
reach out when I have more
I would argue
information
that
about our
it is
mysterious locket. For now, focus on your...
counterproductive and encourages, discourages, thinking for yourself.
Yeah, but
Or-
I kind of I agree in a way, but I don't want to say online because what's the alternative? Like on the one hand, the culture on the internet that's dominant, I agree, it's like NPC shit. But on the other
Right.
hand, does being offline solve that or what? You know, that's really my objection.
I don't believe that it solves it necessarily, but it's certainly easier to not be an NPC if you are offline. I think that
I really disagree because you look at people who are just offline, and those people who are radicalized offline were usually still educated on the internet, but just went offline afterwards, and just are stuck with their dogma and are not subjecting their beliefs to any kind of discursive challenges. So I think it's kind of a cope.
and that's exactly what the interesting thing is, I would say that's exactly what happens online, because people who are online, they do not necessarily, if you're going to be online, you're not going to join communities that disagree with your worldview, that disagree with your ideological foundation. Sorry, I'm sick. That's why I'm a little bit disjointed. But you're not going to join communities that are in disagreement with the way that you view the world. And that isn't to say that offline that's going to happen necessarily, but it's much easier to find people that are in agreement with you online than it is offline. Okay,
keep going. No,
and
keep
then
going.
you kind of end up being in this web or community of people that agree with you and kind of, I don't know. It's much easier to give an example. Take incels, for example. I do not believe that is something that could have naturally arisen. Incel ideology or incel whatever. I don't believe that is something that could exist without the internet. Or without people being online, so to speak. That is my point.
Yeah, okay, but it's... Alright, keep going.
I do believe that the concept that being an incel is soy. You're not thinking for yourself, fundamental. That's all I have to say. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but here's the issue, is that it's a double-edged sword, because at the same time, people in real life are much more likely to find common ground with you than on the internet. So it's really your ability to deal with people who disagree with you on the internet, actually, that probably will give you a one-up, and actually not only being able to, like, talk to people who disagree with you, but actually convince them. And that's why there needs to be a balance, because if you're just offline, you're going to talk to people who are conciliatory with you and agree with you, but deep down, when push comes to shove, are they actually going to join you and actually concede anything to you? Probably not. They're probably just going to agree with you because they don't want to, like, make it awkward, because on the one hand, you're also a person, and on a personal
Yeah.
level, they don't want to like upset you. And as far as incels are concerned, look, those feelings exist for a reason though, because
Right.
offline people are extremely awkward, and they're not able to like get any women and whatever, and obviously that frustration is going to manifest itself in people who have shared experiences going on the internet and trying to make sense of that. My point is that the internet is inescapable. It's not really that I think the internet should replace real life. It's just that the internet isn't escapable. You can't just replace the internet with some kind of like authentic real world experience.
And I don't disagree with that point. I don't think that the internet is bad. I mean, I'm in your Discord. I'm watching the stream. I do think there's a way to engage in the internet in a way that is not conducive to being a fucking retard. Can I say retard on stream?
Just don't say it often, you know? You can say it once,
Yeah.
but just not often.
But there are people who, I would say there is there are people who are kind of lost in a way, and they look for some kind of community or whatever. Perhaps they do not have an identity, and they look for an identity, and they find it online, and or at least they find their community online, and that becomes their entire life and the basis of their identity. And that, I don't think, is productive. And to me, that is what being online is. But I don't agree. I mean, I don't believe that the internet as a concept or the internet itself is a problem. I use the internet. I think it can be good, and it is inevitable. You cannot exist in society today and not engage or interact with the internet. That's just nonsensical to believe. And I don't necessarily believe that we should entirely be offline. But I think that
Here I've come from the toilet bowl where she said I could swim. Did you
Keep
fancy
going.
a mole? As long as for
Sorry.
only one time per week, I can plunge the boy's
my throat
lavatory,
is
not for
anyway.
the week. These
I think that
me late. He tried to stop me, did rancorous
you
carp.
should
Sought
not-
to trap me, confine me inside of a jar. But he failed, as did his containment charms. So I took my
you
revenge
should-
to wreak
I don't know how to
havoc and
put it.
harm.
You
It was
should
granted
not
my privileges be handsome indeed, or I'd fire up
become
the cannon, and so
too
she agreed. To draw up a contract with her, not with him.
you should not
If I
engage
behaved, I'd have one
with
weekly
online communities in a way that
Keep going,
makes it the basis of your identity, basically.
No,
is
I
what
mean,
I'm saying.
there's a certain extent to which I believe that, because I think that's called when people try to make things too deep and take things too personally online when they're in these communities and they get offended too much. But at the same time, it's like you just have to use it in the right way. You have to have your own life offline and form relationships based on family and real life relationships. And on the other hand, you can also interface with those aspects of your thoughts and your brain, which are not necessarily suitable or appropriate for the real world, in online communities, you know? Like,
Precisely. That's what I do.
you can just, you know, fuck around and participate in an online political community while also being a completely normal person in the real world. Because that community is allowing you to interface with the world in ways that offline doesn't, right? So you're basically being able to, like, subject aspects of your own thoughts to, you know, challenges and to forms of community that are just virtual and not actual. And I don't think there's a problem with that. I don't think it's bad that virtualities can be given like a digital representation, because those virtualities exist in our head. Like, all these different ideas exist floating around in our head. But when you're able to kind of organize them in a social way, that can really lead you to interesting things offline. Like, there's a lot of people. Here's an example of this. Like, they weren't necessarily online per se, but it was this kind of organization of virtualities, which was like, you know, you're probably not familiar with them. That the art collective, the CCRU, right? Nick Land's whole thing. And those people were involved in the super fringe, kind of like weird, may as well have been an overly online phenomena. It's just there wasn't really an internet back then.
Right.
And then later on in their personal lives, a lot of them would go on to be like very successful artists and musicians and writers and things like that. So I think there's such a thing as a balance, and I think there's also usefulness, and not only just usefulness, but it can definitely help you maneuver your life in general, not just the internet. I think the issue is when people just have a sense of community online.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. I don't disagree with you. I mean, like I said earlier, I'm in your Discord. I have Discord.
All right, for the purpose of wrapping it up, what do we disagree on then, based on what we just said?
I mean, perhaps it's not even a disagreement. I think it's a misunderstanding.
All right, for sure. For sure. That's cool.
I specifically have a problem with with people whose identity is entirely based off of and defined off of things that I don't believe to be real, that exist only on the internet. And this is a universal thing too.
Some things that right now only exist on the... But one last thing is that some things that only exist on the internet right now also have the potential to lead to things that also exist in real life. And I think we're starting to see that, you know, because people in this community are sharing these ideas with their colleagues and with their family and with their friends. And I do think it is gonna lead to something more, and that's the goal. But yeah,
that's true. I'm not even speaking on this community specifically, but I mean with regards to I don't believe that people who I would classify as being online have genuine thoughts. I don't believe that they're thinking for themselves. I don't believe that they have any ideological foundation. If you're a member of this community and your ideological foundation is Marxism and you're a member of this community, that is fine. But if the ideological basis of your worldview or whatever is the influencer, or it just does not make sense, and that's what I believe to be the problem. Perhaps that's another issue or another topic.
All right, but what's the problem then?
Well, I mean, okay, I've kind of come to this conclusion from just talking to people that after talking to them for a while, it becomes clear that they are not capable of any type of critical thought or thinking for themselves. They have a list of opinions, or a list of points, or a list of stances, or whatever. And
do you think if you talk to the rank and file of any mass movement in history, do you think everyone's going to be able to independently articulate on an intellectual level?
They don't. It doesn't even have to be on an intellectual level, but
then on what level does it have to be? Because I think you're just expressing disgruntlement with the fact of characteristics that are true for any mass phenomena in general. But what's different? Yeah, it is. There's a mass phenomena that's different.
But look, okay, can I? just say something very quickly. If I'm talking to somebody, I expect them to engage in discussion, not just. The thing is,
That's not,
with people,
but that's not true.
But listen, with people like this, they're not able to discuss any further than the position that they hold on any specific issue. They cannot concede anything. They cannot.
Okay, look. I'm just being charitable and saying you're right in terms of your experiences, and you're not being biased. So I'll just be charitable to you. But can you name me any mass phenomena that's not going to have that same thing?
I mean, not off the top of my head, but like,
if you go to a concert of your favorite band, do you think everyone's going to be engaging in like these deep discussions with you?
It doesn't have to be deep, but like, if I ask them, what do you think of the performance? And some people will say, I don't like it, I do like it. What didn't you like about it? Normal people, not just rattle off a list of, talking points.
You know what's true for the majority of people? The majority of people are probably going to read some music review by a YouTuber or some like popular reviewer or something, and they're just going to repeat the same thing. Or they're gonna, if you ask someone their opinion on a given subject, they're probably just gonna like reference a South Park episode and literally ad verbatim tell you lines from the South Park episode to describe reality. So that is just true for any mass phenomena. But the issue I'm having is that even though it's true for any mass phenomena, I really feel like infrared in particular probably has the most amount of independent critical thinkers like any other online community I've ever found. Like, we probably have the most amount of like people interested in philosophy and intellectualizing in any like online political discord that's comparable in terms of like being a different ideology. Like, I get there's probably like political discords that are meant for philosophy, and there's probably political discords that are just about politics. But when it comes to like a brand new ideology like infrared, I feel like we really outrank, especially for our size, a lot of people when it comes to people who want to be critical, independent thinkers, who want to be able to read Kant and Hegel and understand it. The amount of reading groups people are forming and the amount of reading they're doing and trying to understand these things. Like, I feel like your frustrations are going to be true for any online Discord political community, but they're less true for infrared in particular.
I mean, my frustrations aren't even specifically with the infrared community. I have noticed, I have noticed the existence of this in the infrared community. My frustrations aren't even particularly with this community, but if I can give an example, kind of a situation in which this would come up. So imagine any controversial topic. Let's say immigrants in Europe. Somebody who does not have any particular ideological foundation, or who is not capable of thinking for themselves, and instead substitutes this ideological foundation with just a list of positions or whatever. Once one of those positions comes into conversation, or is brought up in conversation, they'll jump to talk about it, or they'll jump to discuss it. If, for example, somebody brings up immigrants in Europe, they'll instantly, oh my God, you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't, because you're talking about in this community, it's probably divided in terms of how people would respond. Some people would probably be like against immigration. Some people would be like saying Europe is cucked and the immigrants are based. I don't know, like I feel like there's a lot of diversity.
You think I'm criticizing this community specifically. I'm not. I'm speaking on internet culture as a whole. People who are
internet culture is gonna code your position in a certain way, 100%.
not necessarily, but there's a very specific type of person that I'm speaking about. I'm perhaps not able to define it, or
Look,
yeah,
this has been going on for a little bit, but
yeah, I get it.
yeah, and I don't know if you're tired or something, or
I'm just saying. That's all.
yeah, because I'm trying to level with you, but it's just kind of hard. But we can talk another time. But you gotta like wake up a little bit.
Okay, if you are you streaming tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
If you are, I'll probably be.
All right, for sure, man. Okay.
Myself.
Yes, yeah. Now, I don't know why it's like lagging for you guys, because it's fine on my end. But where did that guy go? There was like a crazy clown man. My guy... This is the Cambodian drip. Sail off! Alright, looks good for you guys now. Honestly, this game... The problem with games like this is it's like... I can't even crouch. I can't punch people. If I cast a spell on this group of students, it's just like, it does nothing. You know what I mean? It does nothing. It does nothing. I can go to them and cancel them.
Revelio.
Cancelled. Cancelled. Transphobic. You can do that, but that gets old. So what else can you do, really, you know? You can go outside and look at... It doesn't really feel like I'm playing a game. It feels like I'm playing a cutscene is my problem with this game. Like, it feels like I'm just playing a cutscene, you know? Like, I want to be able to play a game and have freedom. I don't want to have an invisible wall. Like, let me jump! Let me fucking jump off of it. They won't let me, right? Of course they won't. It just feels like this is like an on-rails, curated, fraudulent experience. And it's like, oh, it's Hogwarts. It's Hogwarts. It's like, okay. And what can you do, right? Can you punch people? Then why would I want to be here? Even if you're like, oh, why do you want to punch people? It's like, even if I don't want to, I want the ability to. I want the freedom to, right? And this game just does not give you that. It's an on-rails, curated experience. Like, I want to do a spell where I just flip this person upside down. And they just flip upside down. And they just, like, fly, like what is this? I heard a lot of people be like, yeah, this gets the nostalgia right. In terms of the vibes. And I'm not getting those vibes. I remember watching these movies as a child. And, like, this does not look that great to me. Like, this is kind of like, I mean, it looks good graphically, but like vibes wise it's just kind of generic. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know, I'm just not that impressed. And the game is like lagging when I stream it, even though it's fine on my end. Let me see if there's like a problem with the game capture. Hook rate. Fastest. Should I do that? Fast hook rate, right? That'll fix it, right? Yeah, it fixed it! Oh, it's just the hook rate. Literally, unironically. Fixed it, right? Unironically fixed it. Oh, it's the hook rate. Okay. Alright, well, we got it. We literally fixed that problem. Alright, well, now the problem's fixed. We can just play the game now. Remember how it was lagging out here? And it's still kind of lagging on your end, but on my end, it's like fine. Right? Alright. Okay. Now we're playing it. This is like the laggiest part of the whole game.
Protego. Revelio.
Alright. Now... Alright. I'm really not that impressed. Oh my god, it's a classroom. Guys, this is like ray tracing gameplay. Hope you know that. Alright, I gotta figure out where I'm supposed to go. Alright, this is... I'm close. Here, right? Then where? Upstairs? Alright, I'll go upstairs. I don't know, like, this game is just not that impressive. I talked to the drawer.
Revelio.
402 staircases. What? Alright. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, man. Keep going up. Clearly, I gotta keep going up. There's a carpet here. Alright. Alright, I found
Professor Ronan tends to go on a bit. We sometimes have to remind him.
Shut up!
I don't necessarily want him to get
Cancelled! No way it's lagging. No way it lags on the cutscene. No way it's lagging the cutscene.
Here. Behind
It's
you.
not lagging for me.
There is an open seat here.
Shut up.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie.
No
So
one
you
gives a
are the
fuck.
new student. Have you met Professor Ronan yet?
Shall we begin? Welcome
Another
to year 5.
pedal. Another pedal. What?
Accio.
That is not bad.
You are a swift learner. I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is
I
nothing
will
without
quit
practice.
this game if it keeps lagging.
Keep at it. You might.
It's not lagging for me, it's lagging for you guys. This shit is dog shit.
I've always found that fun goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would agree. So, what better than a bit of sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test, right? So why don't we have our newest student start us off? Very simply, cast Accio on one of the spheres and relinquish your charm, Accio. Possible moment. Now, think. Stay focused. Splendid! Very good.
Oh, I'm so good at this. I'm really good at this.
Very good. Points to Slytherin. But there's certainly no sport
Shut
in
the
playing
fuck up,
Miss
dude.
Onai, would you? Come on
Yo,
up.
what is this game?
You'll be the blues just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
A woman?
Yes, sir.
Bishop. Yes!
Akio.
Bitch!
That's it!
Here we go!
Fucking rigged, man.
That is how it's done. Well done. Watch this.
Where is Harry Potter? I didn't see him once in this fucking game. Where the fuck is Harry Potter?
Akio.
What is he doing? I have to do this shit?
Splendid! Let us make this a bit more interesting, shall we?
Yeah, make it interesting by...
I think we are well past interesting at this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter. Focus now. You will need it. This round,
I don't know why it's like lagging for you guys.
Bishop.
What fixed it?
Oh no.
This is perfect now. I don't know what fixed it. What did I do to fucking fix it? Let me see. I like fixed it. What did I do? Oh, I limited the capture frame rate. That's what fixed it. Oh, you have to limit the capture frame rate and it fixes
I
it.
know everyone is watching, but try not to be nervous. You are doing quite well.
Okay, I see how you do this. Alright, man. I gotta fucking win. Stupid bitch!
Excellent control there.
Let us see this.
No, my frame rate is fine. It's just the capture for you guys. Bitch. She's done, dude. She's done. She can't do shit. Even if she gets everything. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here with
That
shit.
is how it's done.
Fucking loser.
Akio.
Sit the fuck down, dumb bitch.
That's it.
Men always win. Remember, men always win. Andrew Tate.
Very good, both of you. Well done.
What was that lag for you guys? It's not lagging for me.
Class is dismissed. Gather your things on the way out.
Good game back there. I must admit, took weeks for me to get anything right.
That's good to hear. Of course, you can use Accio on humans.
If you're so.
I can, but I can't,
You're
right?
using it on clothing, to be precise, Sebastian. You know it won't work on humans.
What? What the fuck did you just say to me, you little bitch?
A word, if you would.
Shut the fuck up. This guy's talking shit. You can't leave. Nah. Oh, they got an infer. Oh, they're getting protected. They got protected by the professor. Fucking pedo. First of all, I gotta put some clothes on. This is like ridiculous. Alright. Look at this shit, man. The fuck is this guy wearing? This is not Cambodian in any way. I gotta talk to this old pedo. What did he even say?
Professor Ronan reminds me of my grandfather. Loads of wisdom, but a bit mad.
That's what he had to say.
Someone's got the hang of their spell work.
I'm gonna make a new friend. What do you... I care about your opinion. I care about women's opinion.
After my
No, I don't give a fuck, bitch!
Hello there. You're the new student, aren't
Alright,
you?
let's continue.
And then the werewolves joined the goblins in the uprising.
Werewolves, where were you? In the Goblin Rebellion of 1752.
And by the
Oh my god!
The Minister for Magic was Albert Boot.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, what fun! I won't say my goodbyes. I shall cheer for the boy who says you're
This
telling
is
lies.
disgusting.
Peeves. It was Albert
This is like
Boot.
Satan.
It was Basil Flack.
Satanism. What the fuck?
Fight! It's a bold attack. Was the Minister a boot or the Minister a flack?
Stop it, Peeves. You'll get us in trouble.
In trouble you will be, but you can't give Peeves a smack. She says it's a boot and he says it's a flack.
Peeves, enough. You'll get us all detention.
I love how I can't interact with anything. I can't attack this guy. I can't do nothing. I can't put them in jail. I can't do anything. All I can do is jump. That's all my power in this game is jumping. I can't do nothing. I can't check anyone's privilege. I can't even flip this desk as a sign. You know, like, you can't do shit in this fucking game. What a garbage ass fucking game, man. They don't even give a fuck. It's a ghost. Oh, it's lagging for you guys. I love when it does that. I wish this was like Bully, and if this was like Bully, that'd be legendary. If you could just like attack people.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented flu powder.
Nobody gives a fuck. Dumb bitch. It's lagging for you guys, not for me.
Do you ever
Alright, man, I'm just climbing the stairs forever. That's all this game is. Climbing the stairs. Oh shit, can I use this? Alright, you know what? I'm gonna give my review for this game, because I think I've experienced enough of it to review it. And this game is very frustrating. It's just like a on-rails, open-world game. I can't even jump off of this. there's no interactability, right? If you could attack students and have a wanted system, if you could jump off of things and not have like these rails, these invisible walls, which are really frustrating. If I could crouch and sneak around, if I could use my fists, and if I could interact with the environment, if I could like pick up this book and throw it at people, there's so many things you need to be able to do before you can justify the claim that this is like an open world game, because it's not. It's just like a tour of a digital version of Hogwarts. So it's a digital version of Hogwarts where you can walk around and look at things, but there's not really freedom in terms of what you can do. You can't really like I can't just push this person off the tower, right? Of course I can't, because then what? Then it would be fun. And then we wouldn't buy the next game because it'd just be fun, right? Every time you're bored, you could just boot this game up, lift these people up and just throw them off this tower, and it'd be funny every time you do it. But no, we can't do things like that, because if we had enough fun, we wouldn't buy any microtransactions and like other games and shit. We would just like play one game, like Gary's mod. So this is a, you know, pretty much, I'm gonna give my review for this game a 3 out of 10. And the one, each point will be justified. 1 point for graphics. The graphics are pretty cool. 1 point for, it's honestly a 2 out of 10, honestly. 1 point for the graphics. Another point for the map being like a replica of the movies. And then there's no other pluses to this game at all. Like, I don't really see anything good about this fucking game. I'm trying to have fun, and I'm lagging as I do it. I'm trying to have fun, guys. You see me try to have fun with it, and I can't. And I'm trying so fucking hard to, like, make the game fun, and I can't. All I can... This is the only thing I can do, right? My one thing is this. It's like... Because it looks like a... It just looks like a cancellation spell. Cancelled! Homophobia! Transphobia! Ableism! That's all I can do to have fun. But maybe I'm just tired. No, it's not $80 down the drain, because we'll continue to play it, but we have to play the story. And we will play the story, but just not tonight, because I have a headache. Also because I'm wearing a hat. But yeah, that's my review of the game. It's just not particularly impressive to me. You know, I gotta pee. Fuck. Alright, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Gotta pee really bad, and I gotta go sleep.